So when it comes to Pokemon, one of the first things you think about is an RPG. Maybe it's an action game with a Pokemon in it where you're battling Pokemon versus Pokemon. One of the things that doesn't come to mind is a Pokemon pinball game. Of course! Why didn't I think of it first? There's balls in Pokemon, there's Pokemon in Pokemon. Let's make a pinball game out of it, and that's just gonna make sense. And while I'm kind of making fun of the idea, Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire is a really good pinball game, and it took me way off guard. So let's finish off Pokemon Month strong on my channel by talking about Pokemon Pinball and why I think this series needs to come back. Before we get too far into that, my name is Dan and welcome to my YouTube channel. And if video games are the kind of thing you like hearing about on YouTube, then do yourself a favor and subscribe because that is all I do here. Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire. Let's talk about what this game is and how it actually works. Just as the name implies, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire is a Pokemon pinball game that features Pokemon from the Hoenn region, which is the Ruby and Sapphire titles of the series. And at first glance, it's a regular pinball game. You just get a high score and you rack up points and you go through a cute Pokemon themed pinball map. Pokemon pop up, there's really cool art, and yeah, it's a Pokemon pinball game, I get it. However, you can actually fill out a Pokedex in Pokemon Pinball Ruby Sapphire. You can catch Pokemon in this game, and it's not even a gimmick, it's built right into the game really seamlessly. After unlocking a few sections of the board you're on, eventually you'll get the ability to catch a Pokemon. It shows up right in the middle of the stage, and then it gets added to your Pokedex, just like in the Pokemon RPGs. So while this game is challenging you to get the high score, it's actually challenging you to catch them all. Going into this, I really assumed it was just gonna be a Pokemon-themed pinball game, but I should have known that they were gonna throw the Pokemon curveball and actually add a good gameplay element like catching all of the Pokemon and make it make sense. The game features two pinball boards, one for Pokemon Sapphire and one for Pokemon Ruby. While I played the Sapphire board only because that's the game I liked, I'm assuming the Ruby board is similar with different challenges, different loops to go through, and different Pokemon to catch because that's how versions work in Pokemon. Even that little note of having two different boards for the same game, two different versions of the same game, just as Pokemon Ruby and Pokemon Sapphire are two different versions of the same game, you also have two boards to represent that, and I just thought that was so smart. So not only are you tasked with opening up different sections of each pinball board and opening up new Pokemon to catch, new Pokemon to hatch. Mind you, there's also a hatching mechanism in this game where you hatch a baby Pokemon and then catch it on the board, but you're also given the ability to have a bonus round, which is a boss fight to catch a really big Pokemon that's very hard to catch, but ultimately a lot of fun to try to catch. And while I didn't manage to catch the ghost Pokemon, I was delighted to see that you had more than one chance to go get it. I just wasn't that good at the boss fights. I really wasn't that good at this game. It's a pinball game, sure, but it's a little difficult. The challenge is there. So we've got a Pokemon pinball game, but it's also a Pokemon catch-em-all game. It's also a Pokemon game with boss battles, and it's also a Pokemon game with egg hatching. While I know this all is within the scope of pinball, I'm still quite impressed that they made this game as fully functioning as it is. Nobody would have complained if they just made a Pokemon game that was also a pinball game. Nobody would have blinked an eye. That happens all the time, where games are just made into pinball and it works, and that's the pinball version. If you want to play Star Wars pinball, there it is. Instead, they thought a little bit harder and they said, how can we make Pokemon make sense in pinball? And they did it. So yes, I really want to see this game be remade, maybe remastered, maybe re-released. I really think Pokemon Pinball has a place in the current economy of Pokemon games. I mean, they're coming out with Pokemon Sleep. They can have a Pokemon Pinball game come back. And I'm honestly surprised I didn't play this when it came out. I'm sure I thought it was a little silly, Pokemon Pinball. What kind of kid wants to play that? But if you're not that into Pokemon, you're more likely to play this. And I'm only saying that because it's really simple and cute and fun to look at. And if you're not that into the RPGs, this is a really fun way to enjoy Pokemon without actually diving into a 40-hour game. While I loved the other spin-offs I spoke about, Pokemon Conquest, Pokemon Ranger, I really feel those were very specific. Those are for a very niche crowd, people who really want to dig deeper into the lore and the locations of Pokemon. And while those are fine and good, and while I am part of that crowd, I really think that Pokemon Pinball has a chance at being super successful today. It's fun to play, it's simple, it's cute to look at, there's really no downside, and it's a pinball game. You could put this on a cell phone, you could put this on a mobile device and it would feel just fine. So did you play Pokemon Pinball when it was around? Did you play this game? I'm really interested in hearing from people who enjoyed this game when it was out, when it was new, because I missed it mainly because I was playing the RPGs and I didn't want to be bothered. But let me know what you think of this game, if you enjoyed it, if you'd like to play it, if this is something you would enjoy now. If you like this video, do me a favor and like it. And if you really like this video, do me a favor and subscribe to this channel. It's the #1 way to let me know that you like what I'm making and that I should keep making more of it. And that about wraps it up for Pokemon month on my channel. This is by far not the last Pokemon video I'm ever gonna make. I had some videos in mind that I couldn't do because of some technical difficulties that I'm gonna do later on. So things are still gonna happen Pokemon related on this channel. So if you like Pokemon, don't go too far. And I hope you enjoy all the things Nintendo and Game Freak have laid out for us this year. I am certain there's gonna be new games, new toys, and all sorts of new things to buy, clothing. They love to give us Pokemon themed clothing and I'm in for all of it. And finally, happy birthday Pokemon, and thank you so much for existing. Pokemon has been the bedrock for some of my lifelong friendships. It has formed so many good memories around those friendships, and it more than likely brought me to you, so I'm happy about that and grateful for that. So if you see Pikachu out there, give it a hug. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.